Let me off this ride. I'm done. I'm done. Whatever trauma you got from this place, clearly it's not worth going back. Get the squid, get the dog, let's go home. I'm done. I'm done. So our story begins in this abandoned carnival-like settings building. From what I've read, this takes place in a kids' asylum. Nothing good ever happens in an asylum. Luckily though, we're not alone. Oh, you're so cute. This stuffed toy is gonna help us solve puzzles and be our emotional companion through this new version of gaming hell. And I'ma call her Violet. She probably has a name. I don't care, I'ma call her Violet because she's purple and she's cute. And I swear the second I started this game, these dudes started to sing, and I could have sworn at the beginning of the song it sounded very familiar. And then I realized, it's Stand By Me. I mean, that could just be me. It was the first 2 seconds of the song, but they just sounded so identical. Whatever. So anyway, we have to sign a contract, agreeing to go into this place. And I'm surprised I haven't found a quote that said, "Abandon all hope, thee who enters." Because, oh yeah, you can only hold one item at a time, so we have to put Violet down in order to do some stuff. This already is going to give me anxiety, I just know it. So after getting the ticket, we enter into a colorful madness known as a child asylum. Am I a kid? I think I might be. That would be very interesting. Like, did I escape and I just came back? Or was I trapped in the madness? Who knows? Let's see. Anyway, as we explore this colorful building, we are then startled by a dog. And oh my gosh, like, look at the dog, look at the dog. Does this dog not okay, so early 2000, there was like this brand merch of dogs with large heads and tiny bodies. I think they were called The Dogs. I still have a plushie of the one I bought to look like my dog when I was a kid. Like, I was obsessed with that stuff. Like, I had the journals, I had pencils with it. I just love like the large dog heads and the tiny bodies. They were just so cute. Like, the dog looks just like it. It's giving me flashbacks. I love it. So, back to the story. So the dog kind of coughs up this ink cartridge. Oh god, are we going back to Bendy and the ink machine? So Violet can use this as some sort of paint gun to spit out ink. We need this to solve puzzles throughout various sections of the game. For example, the first part is we're kind of in like this library setting where we have to go around and finish some paintings using Violet's ink cartridge machine. As we solve puzzles, the dog's kind of just hanging out, but they're not going to do anything. They'll drop an item here or there and maybe make a ton of weight, but the dog's really not doing anything but watching right now. Each painting kind of tells a story. You got the dog in one painting, you got the dragon in another, and these will play a part later as we go on throughout the game because, for example, the dragon here, what we're painting, we're going to use a dragon later. I wonder if the dragon is going to be a character in the next game. I mean, like, I'd be interested. You never know, you could make a puppet dragon. I'm very curious. So when we are done with this puzzle, at some point, we are able to make our way into a theater, which is behind this door that we had to get to using a bunch of paint and keys. Best way I can describe it. It's just kid fun stuff, and I like it. It's very colorful. It's very fun. Again, I am very nervous putting down Violet because I don't know if that dog was going to attack me or not, and I would hate to find out that Violet could die, but that's neither here or there. So we find this theater, and it's full of stuffed toys, and I'm getting bad flashbacks to Poppy Playtime in the sense that I'm kind of on the edge of just something attacking me, and then we are forced to see this creepy thing. That's just me. Roll the clip!
Welcome to Upward, where the only way is up. We offer a new hope for children who want to live a better life. Upward's a place where they become the best versions of themselves. It's a place of hopes and dreams. A place your child will always remember.
So, from what we just gathered, we are in this place called Upward, and it was created in 1980. And from the looks of the video, I wonder if this was the last time the video had shown before, I'm guessing, hell broke loose. Going up to the projection room, we see that the place was destroyed, and weirdly enough, it looks recently destroyed. So I wonder, because we still got like flickering lights and everything. And there's also a working camera that shows us a weird creature. One we will sadly say, well, we will see soon.
there, colleagues! Today's training covers how to monitor and correct subjects during re-education. A crucial lesson. Now, first things first, it's of utmost importance that children are properly seated and restrained. The last thing we want is those pesky little stinkers wriggling free mid-session and having to send Binky after them. But before we can engage the restraints, we need to make sure we place the right reels in the right projector slots. So grab today's assigned indoctrination reel and pop it right into the top slot. Next, always make sure there's an empty reel at the bottom slot. Film needs to go somewhere, doesn't it? With that sorted, engage the restraint lever and press play. Simple as that. From here, your only job is to observe and keep those eyes open for any patients showing signs of, non-compliance. And if you spot any unwanted behavior, notify a supervisor immediately. We don't judge here. We just correct. Happy brainwashing, everybody!
The game is straightforward, and I'll give it that. No need to waste thousands of hours theorizing what's going to happen. I'm kidding. This is only the start. We don't know where this is going to go. So in this room, there is another film that we can play. And once we hit the play button, we're given a flash of light and then some sort of weird image, which will make sense by the end of this game, or this level. Coming back, the room is destroyed and all the stuffed animals are gone. Playing the new clip, we see how this organization really works. And the bits of metal ain't helping.
Welcome to your new purpose. Upward is not a choice. It's a solution. You are not broken. You are incomplete. Compliance is comfort. Resistance is inefficient. Every action will be observed. Every thought will be analyzed. And every response will be corrected. You will learn to play our way. You will learn to love. You will perform. Submit. Conform.
After that horrible experience, we exit out the room to enter into a hallway. And as we are walking, I still hear that man's voice. He's so creepy. As we explore, the dog comes back, only this time it's hostile. Now we gotta run to this room we saw earlier to get away from it. And this is what's kind of funny to me. This dog can get its big head through the tiny door, but it can't get its body throughout the tiny door. I don't know, that's cute to me. It's funny. I also want to point out there was something weird going on when we were running away, such as items flowing in weird glowing blobs, but that's not important right now. We got a large dog blocking our way. So the dog opens its mouth and it's basically asking you to fix what's wrong with it, and now we gotta follow the instructions on the wall. Afterwards, the puppy is now a puppy again. And he looks so relieved of his pain. My heart aches for the poor baby. I know he tried to eat me like 5 seconds ago, but it's a baby. And now he's laying on the ground. He's so cute. He's so cute. Aww. Going back to the room that the dog had burst through, we find ourselves in a mystical, like, kingdom fantasy room. After playing like a western for this game, we get a new ink cartridge, a red ink cartridge. This allows us to paint the dragon red and thus make him spit out fire. Lowering the bridge, Violet and I proceed to make our way into the cozy looking castle, jumping on beds and climbing on walls until we find a room with a very disturbing video.
You're here for. Just get them to open up and conform.
That wasn't creepy at all. That wasn't creepy, weird, nor disturbing at all. So after watching that disturbing video, Violet and I decide it's time to go. However, Pinky decides to make his appearance. Pinky is very weird, and we will talk about why so later. So Pinky instructs us to go take a nap, and we pretend to go to sleep until... my skin just crawled. Like, I want to leave. That made... no. Out of all the horror mascot games that I have played and watched, none of them have made me feel this uncomfortable. And if we're playing as a kid, that adds to the creepiness. Also, we get an achievement called The Little Girl. What is this game? What are you people doing to the children? Waking up, Pinky is gone. This allows us to explore more, and I can't help but to think that we should just leave. The outside's right there, but we're not, so we had to go to this very musical part of the game.
Hello, kids! I used to make omelets, but today we make a very special cookie.
Similar to the beginning, I thought I could have sworn I heard Mr. Krabs. I'm sitting here like, y'all got Clancy Brown to work on this? Oh, fun fact, Clancy Brown also voices Baron from the Jack series. The more you know. Anyway, I dislike this section for mostly the song. The song is catchy, but after a while, it kind of got on my nerves. Also, I have to put down Violet in order to do this level, and that kind of makes me nervous, because I don't know when Mr. Pinky's gonna turn. So, while we are listening to this song, Pinky comes back and instructs us to make food, preferably a cookie. We have to find the ingredients for this dish. Pinky sort of guides us through some parts of the section, but we have to do most of the work. After collecting all the ingredients, Pinky meets us in the kitchen where we have to prepare the cookie. As we do this, Pinky starts acting a bit aggressive, and immediately I am on high alert, especially the way he looked at me after breaking the machine and going into the back room. Like, I made you mad? Whatever. So, after all of that, the cookie comes out and Pinky tells us to eat it. Afterwards, all hell breaks loose. We faint. Am I surprised that this cookie may have been laced? No. So we faint. And then when we wake up, we're still in the kitchen, but now the colors and the colorful vibe is just gone. The song is over. Now the room is full of all these dark blobs. Leaving the area, Pinky grabs us and throws us to the ground while also telling us to run. I think Pinky might have two personalities fighting for control, and the stronger one is the mouth. That is, I'm guessing, not satisfied by the... Yeah. So now we gotta run. We run back to the fantasy room where we took a nap, following some red footprints on the ground. Once in the bed, Pinky leaves us to sleep. I'm gonna assume that this is some sort of programming in his bed. I'm going to assume that that's a programming in his head not to disturb the children while they're sleeping. During the stream, we have a nightmare about the cookie coming to hurt us. The cookie also repeats the same commands that the man from earlier said in the video in the theater. Luckily for us, that was a dream, but not Pinky, because just as we're about to leave, Pinky sees us and forces us into another chase scene. We're able to escape the pinky white top by jumping down a hole. However, this freedom is short-lived because going up some broken debris, Pinky finds us again. Now we gotta go into another chase scene. We are cornered this time, and Pinky pushes us over the edge. And just as Pinky is about to eat us, my Shayla comes back to save us, my baby! And we can't help her, or him, I don't know. We can't help the dog. We have to escape while they're fighting, and this pink bubblegum looking creep hurts my Shayla. I can't help her though. Our Shayla uses the last of their strength to allow us to escape. My baby their tongue is ripped and then he's thrown out the window. My baby! But just as we think the coast is clear, this walking baby bottle comes bursting through the top, only for the top to latch onto the thing of his head, and it begins to tear it apart. And Pinky falls to the ground dead. I hope. I really do. You never know. It could just be the good side that died. We don't know. And as I sat there with Violet, as we both sat there trying to gather our thoughts after what the fuck we just saw, I turn to my right and I see Corey Extension tell me the horror isn't over.
Welcome to the second floor, kids. Are you ready to submit?
This game, there is a feeling of somber to it. Hear me out. Most mascot horror games seem to carry on the same formula of game, chase scene, puzzles, jump scares, colorful environments. It's the foundation of mascot horror genre. However, while this game seems to have all those traits, it also carried something else, something different. It carried the feelings of empathy and sadness. A lot of horror mascot tries to just scare you with its colorful characters and dark atmosphere. But the problem is that that's the only feeling you're getting from these games. It doesn't take the time to allow you to get to know these characters, grow close to them. One minute you meet them and the next they're dead or gone, or rather they're just your enemy. None of them are your friends, and even if they are your friends, they go by quickly. It's only a few games that actually have you connect to these characters, but most of the times you don't get to. Each section is just a constant high blood pressure race to get to the next point. You're never allowed to just sit and feel. You're constantly scared or on the edge of your seat, or you're terrified because there's a giant cat trying to kill you. But this game, it's different. This game doesn't scare you in a sense, but rather it makes you feel. From the music to the facial expressions, there is a radiance of humanity. This game doesn't make you search for the answers because it's already there. The game doesn't leave you wondering for like 3 chapters what happened. No, it tells you automatically. Parents dropped off their kids here in hopes that these kids will get better and be treated kindly, and that they will receive whatever help they needed while being there. This took place in the 80s, and unlike today, mental health wasn't really treated with a lot of respect. So these parents probably didn't have no other place to go but to leave their kids here. They left their kids here under the belief that they were doing great, that they were leaving their children in great hands. But the second they left, everything changed, leaving those poor kids defenseless as their parents drove home, not realizing the horrors that will await their children. The game does such a great job in having the player feel this certain pain. The pain of knowing that broken children were not only abused here, but also possibly turned into something else. Something that wasn't them. Were these kids broken down emotionally? Were they broken down mentally? forced to become something that they refuse to be? Were they forced and tortured to try to fit into society? There are so many questions I have. And the game does a great job in layering out these questions without having you overthink what happened, compared to some other genres of video game. I also love how all the antagonists of this level so far aren't really monsters. I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of cry when Pinky died. As much as I disliked him, there was good in him, and that good died along with him. And from what I saw, Pinky didn't want to be a monster. Also, I just love how the ending goes. After just witnessing this horror, the soft piano plays, telling you it's calm until we hear Corey's voice telling you, oh, the game isn't over, we're just starting. It's this feeling of the horror isn't over, but I think I can make it, especially now that I have a companion. These are just my opinions. Tell me what you guys think of the game in the comments.